The bus rattled through the city like a tired animal, its metal joints groaning with every stop, and in one quiet corner sat a man who looked as if the world had already forgotten him. His shoulders were slightly hunched, his eyes lowered, and beside him sat a German shepherd so still and disciplined that it almost felt unreal. The men did not know it yet, but in a few minutes, this ordinary ride would become a moment that would change lives, expose cruelty, and remind everyone watching that silence is not weakness. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet strength of doing the right thing, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel so more stories like this can reach the world. The man had boarded the bus without drawing attention, choosing a seat near the middle where he could disappear into the rhythm of the ride. His clothes were simple and clean, the kind worn by someone who did not need to prove anything. The German shepherd sat close, wearing a dark vest that most people barely noticed. The dog's eyes were alert but calm, trained to observe without reacting, to sense danger without fear. To strangers, it looked like an ordinary pet, maybe even an inconvenience on a crowded bus. To the men, the dog was more than a companion. It was his partner, his responsibility, and a reminder of a life spent protecting others. As the bus filled, the air grew heavier. Conversations overlapped, phones buzzed, and laughter bounced off the windows. At the back, a group of men climbed aboard, loud and careless, carrying the kind of energy that made people instinctively look away. They were not criminals in any official sense, but they carried themselves with entitlement, the belief that the world existed to entertain them. Their voices cut through the bus, and their laughter was sharp, almost aggressive, like it dared someone to object. Their eyes eventually landed on the quiet men and the dog. At first, it was just looks, then whispers, then mocking smiles. One of them leaned closer, pointing at the German shepherd, amused by how obediently it sat. Another laughed at the man's silence, mistaking calm for fear. The bus continued moving, but something inside it shifted. The atmosphere tightened, like a storm building without warning. The men felt it, of course. He had felt it countless times before, in darker places than this bus. His hands rested calmly, his breathing slow. He did not look at them, not because he was afraid, but because he understood something they did not. He understood restraint. He understood that power did not need to announce itself. The German shepherd sensed the tension too, ears slightly angled, body still grounded. Years of training held it steady, reminding it to wait, to trust the one it served. The mocking grew louder, more deliberate. The men leaned in, invading space that was not theirs, enjoying the discomfort they thought they were causing. Other passengers noticed but stayed silent, eyes fixed on their phones or the windows. Fear has a way of making people invisible to one another. The quiet men became a symbol of that silence, and the bullies fed on it. Inside the man's mind, memories flickered. Long nights under harsh lights, streets filled with chaos, moments when a single decision could save or end a life. He had learned patience the hard way. He had learned that reacting too soon could cost everything. His partner beside him had learned the same lessons, drilled into muscle and instinct. Together, they had faced far worse than insults on a bus. The German shepherd's vest shifted slightly as the bus hit a bump, and for a brief moment, the words on it became clearer. Police K-9. Still, the men did not notice, or perhaps they did not care. Their focus was on domination, on proving themselves in front of strangers who would never remember their names. One of them moved closer, gesturing sharply, laughing as if daring the dog to react. The dog did not move. That silence was not emptiness, it was discipline. It was the quiet before action that might never come but always could. The man placed a steady hand near the leash, not tightening it, just reminding his partner that he was there. That simple gesture carried years of trust. Around them, the bus felt smaller. A woman clutched her bag tighter. An elderly man shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Everyone sensed that something was about to happen, but no one wanted to be part of it. The bullies mistook that silence for approval. The man finally lifted his gaze, not in anger, but in clarity. His eyes met theirs briefly, and in that moment, something shifted. There was no fear there, only control. The kind of control that comes from knowing exactly who you are. The men laughed it off, but a flicker of uncertainty crossed their faces. They could not explain it, but something about him did not fit the role they had assigned. The bus slowed at a stoplight, and the sound of the engine idling filled the space. The German Shepherd adjusted its posture slightly, sitting taller, more centered. The vest was now clearly visible to anyone paying attention. A few passengers noticed and felt a ripple of relief, though they said nothing. The bullies continued, pushing their luck, unaware that they were standing inches away from consequences they could not imagine. The men remained seated, calm as stone, waiting. He had learned that sometimes the best way to reveal truth was to let people expose themselves. When the bus finally stopped near a busy intersection, something unexpected happened. A sudden commotion outside drew attention, a minor incident that caused the driver to look back and ask for calm. In that moment of distraction, one of the men stepped too close, crossing a line that should never be crossed. The response was instant but controlled. The German Shepherd moved with precision, placing itself between the men and the threat, posture firm, eyes locked. There was no aggression, only authority. The bus fell silent. Every sound seemed to disappear, replaced by the weight of understanding. The men stood slowly, finally revealing the badge clipped discreetly beneath his jacket. The words police unit caught the light, undeniable and final. His presence changed completely in that instant, not because he became someone else, but because others finally saw who he had been all along. The bullies froze. The laughter vanished from their faces, replaced by shock and something close to fear. The dog remained steady, trained to act only if commanded, its very stillness more intimidating than any growl. Passengers watched, breath held, as the truth settled in. This was not a helpless man. This was someone who had chosen silence over conflict, restraint over reaction. Someone who had given the bullies every chance to walk away with dignity. Authorities arrived quickly, alerted by the driver. The situation resolved without chaos, without violence, because control had been maintained from the start. The men were removed, their earlier bravado reduced to nothing. As the bus resumed its route, something changed among the passengers. People looked at the men with new eyes, not admiration for power, but respect for humility. The German Shepherd returned to its calm position, mission complete without ever needing to escalate. The men sat back down, heart steady, hand resting near his partner. He did not seek thanks. He did not look for recognition. That was never why he served. He served because he believed in protecting those who could not protect themselves, even when they did not know it. The rest of the ride passed quietly, but the impact lingered. Passengers carried that moment with them, a reminder that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it sits quietly, waiting, giving the world a chance to be better. Just before the ending, take a moment and comment below what this story made you feel. Your words might inspire someone else who needs courage today. When the man and his German Shepherd finally stepped off the bus, the city moved on around them, unaware of how close it had come to chaos, unaware of how quietly it had been protected. The man walked forward without looking back, his partner at his side, both of them blending into the crowd once more. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness and restraint still matter in a loud world, please like the video, share it, and subscribe. Your engagement helps these stories reach more people who need hope. And somewhere, on another bus, another quiet person sat beside a loyal companion, reminding the world that true power does not need to shout to be heard.